Defense Attorney Joe Stenberg. Mr. Sanchez Gonzalez, I notice your phone says, the computer says Herman Gonzalez. Is that the way you normally consider yourself or refer to yourself?
Yes, Your Honor. But on my ID, it says Sanchez Gonzalez. Sanchez is my middle name.
All right. Then, for the record, you are one and the same Sanchez Gonzalez as Herman Gonzalez that is on this program right now, the Zoom. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Sir, would you raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear that in this proceeding, the information and responses you submit will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. You may put your hand down.
Mhm.
Sir, before we proceed, I'm going to go over some, on the record, some of the constitutional rights and protections that are involved in this proceeding. The lady you might see there, Kayleen Rivera, she's a certified court reporter, and she's taking this, making an official record of this proceeding. You have the right to remain silent. That means you do not have to say anything. You don't have to answer questions. You don't have to submit written paperwork that has an admission or confession to wrongdoing in it. You understand that you have a right to remain silent.
Yes, Your Honor.
You have the right to a jury trial. You and your attorney and the state's attorneys would select 6 people from a random pool of jurors from the community who would hear the evidence, see you and the witnesses, if any, and materials and whatever, videos, whatever would be available, and decide whether you're guilty or not guilty. That's the right to a jury trial. Is that understood?
Yes, Your Honor.
You have the right to confront witnesses. That means that you and your attorney could question, cross-examine, or challenge any witness who would testify in your trial if you went to trial. That's called the right to confront witnesses. People sometimes refer to it as the right to face your accusers. You understand you have that right?
Yes, Your Honor.
You also have the right to appeal. That basically is a right where you yourself or your attorney by himself or you, both of you together could demand that a higher court review the official record in this proceeding, review the evidence and everything else for whatever challenge you wanted to make, legal challenge. That right has to be pursued with the correct forms and time limitations that are involved. But nonetheless, that's the right to an appeal. You understand you have that right?
Yes, Your Honor.
There's also a right to demand that this whole proceeding be held in an open public courtroom. That's required by Constitution and laws, in particular here in Texas. That right also applies to the state. So each of you individually has that right. Now, because of the COVID pandemic, we're not doing that. We're doing it by what's called video conference. It is being streamed on public domain, but it is not in the open public courtroom as is required. To do that, we have to do, or you and the state have to consent or agree to video conference. You understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
These rights that I have just talked to you about briefly, these rights you give up when you do an appeal, or rather a plea. Is that clear?
Yes.
All right. Now I'm going to show you some documents. Those documents will all start off at the top with what I call identifying information. They'll have the case number, State of Texas versus Herman Sanchez Hernandez, and the in County Court of Law number 5, Bexar County, Texas. That's
Your Honor.
identifying information. Yes.
I got a message from Attorney Joe Stenberg that he's in the 386 to give him about 10 minutes.
Okay. We're gonna have to delay this, Mr. Gonzalez, as per
Mhm.
the message